think, and I brainstormed myself, and I came up with this concept that there, to fill this gap of the training and help people create a culture, why not create a concept? And that is how destination, that is the birth of Destination Workplace, wherein I go to organizations, I sit with them, I understand their needs, and then come up and build my training from there. It's not that just deliver what they want. Yes, if you really want, then we do provide services, but again it will be only after proper consultations and proper understanding of the actual need of the client. So I just wanted to make a difference in filling those gaps and creating environment for people to to thrive. And that is how Destination Workplace is all about. What is Destination Workplace is all about.
That's really awesome. And I really appreciate what you did because you wanted to change, not only for you, but you want others also to feel that a workplace should be a haven of opportunity, a haven where we thrive, not only monotonous. Because actually, when we say corporate, when we say professional, we always see some people sitting on a desk wearing some suits, working from 8 to 5, and this image always come to our mind, like monotonous. As a French expression said, métro boulot dodo, which means we go to the metro, we go to work, and then we sleep, and so on every day. And after sometimes it becomes a habit. And this is what I want to ask you. Is there any specific thing you add to the company of the culture of a company so that it changes, so that the workplace become more like thriving, not no, bringing life balance for its employee. So is there anything you can help them?
Yeah, I mean, so there is nothing like one thing in particular. It's about understanding the reality of what is going on, right? So many a times, what the upper management and the senior management sees is just the tip of the iceberg. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable, the reality is uncomfortable, and when results and goals are met, the metrics are as expected, then such kind of things like work culture and employee experience often takes a backseat because things are getting done. But we should remember that this is not going to be there's not going to be a sustainable growth if we function this way. uh, and what if we understand or get to know that our workplaces can and do and perform much better than what we are doing at the moment? So, and why culture matters is, uh, see, let us go back to the basics, because when you have a business idea in mind, it begins with an idea, then a plan, and then we have the resources, and then we have the team, and then we have the business up and running. So, and it's a rat race. It's the competition is tough, the business world is so much volatile, and we're all running behind, exceeding numbers and expansion and all of that, that the how your workforce is doing and feeling takes a backseat. Somewhere, you have to, you have to hit the numbers, and you see that you're hitting the numbers, and you imagine and believe that everything is going good. But in some cases, what happens is, uh, as I mentioned, there is a huge gap between what how you feel the people reciprocate, and what their gut says. What is the feeling that they have in their stomach when you think about the workplace is all that matters, and that is where the human side of business starts building up. I know many organizations, they do employ feedbacks and appraisals and feedbacks, which happens like just annually and just for the sake of doing as a tick box activity. But we are, as owners, as managers, as managements, we are responsible for the growth, for their physical and mental, we are somewhere ethically responsible for their growth and development as well. When employees grow and when employees connect to the organization, when they have that connect, and when they see their purpose as their own purpose, then that is where they start going that extra mile. And that is where you see that in times of adversities, in times of challenges, you see the people, you always have their back. That will only happen because this is how what we observed during the recent pandemic, right? Many of the people, in spite of having salary cuts, and in spite of having, they stood by the organization, and they helped them sail through the adversities. So when you really understand that it is through the people that you get the profit, and it is how to make them feel and connected with the purpose and meaning in the job, that is where the real the difference happens in workplaces. So it's to identify what is lacking and then build it from there.
Well, yes. And actually, as you said, purpose and vision and mission, we hear that everywhere. But most of employee doesn't know actually. They just want to go to the work, receive salary every month, which is again a habit just to receive the salary every month. So, what will you suggest to some leaders, to some entrepreneurs, some business owners, what they can add to their everyday life of their employee so that they can improve that work culture? Rashita?
Yeah. So for me, I feel that leadership uh, is all about authenticity. It's all about being genuine, right? And it's being about transparent and the proper way of communication. Are you communicating what is, are you just communicating the piece of the apple, or are you keeping the apple in front of them and saying, this is what is happening and this is what the situation? Don't give them a slice of the information. Provide them with the information that they need to know in which direction are we going. So again, it's a very interesting thing to know that if you want to be a future ready organization, you should be ready to unlearn the management styles and learn and relearn the way of leading people, not just managing them, because we all are adults. The workforce is all about adults, be it Gen Zs or beyond that. So it's about no one likes to be micromanaged, no one likes to be told you do this, you do that. People like to be guided, people like to have resources, and people will come out with productivity and creativity only when they feel that they have that autonomy and they have their own decision making powers to work. That is where the real work happens. So it's about, I would say, that authentic leadership, understanding that leadership is beyond titles and positions, is what really matters. Uh, I'm sure we all have heard this repetitively, that people leave not their jobs, but they leave bad managers. And I believe, I feel sorry for the people, but I also feel sorry for those bad managers, because if they are bad managers, why are they bad managers? Because they are not corrected, because there is no proper guidance provided to them that this is what is expected from you. There is no proper framework into which the leadership, the managers, the supervisors, the team leaders are put into. They don't know their the extent to which they can misbehave, the extent to which they can cater their ego, the needs, all these things. It's all because they are not guided properly. And believe me, Fanaiki, in most of the organizations, 80% of organizations, you see egos. You see, people being literally punished and harassed and put into stress just because we are not able to handle such kind of misbehaviors from the workplace. Yes, the person may be talented, the leader may be good at getting numbers, but at the same time, he is not good in managing the leading his workforce, because we as an organization, we need more leaders. We don't need followers, we just don't need CSCS, right? So for me, if you ask me, authentic leadership is one of the biggest pillars. There's a lot that organizations have to work on it, to identify what kind of leadership runs in an organization, and what do we need to, and what do our people need from us, because I believe that always opportunities and problems and solutions, they all lie within the organization, just that you need to have the right mindset and your eyes open and ears open to find them out, right? So this is my take on that.
Yes, I can see that it's really a new perspective as we are always used to see like yes, managers say something, we have to say yes. They say something we shouldn't do, we have to say okay, we accept. But now it's like every employee should take part in the life of a business as well. They have to be involved, right? And so, what solution do you suggest to overcome that gap between the managers, the leaders, and the employee? What is some action we can take towards a workplace where there's communication? What is something they can do every day to build that relation between them, but at the same time, keeping that, yes, manager will be managers always.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it all, see, everything begins with an awareness. I believe that in an organization, on a professional front, we have like three kinds of awareness. Awareness of the employee, a team member, then awareness as a leadership role, and awareness as an organization as a whole. So it all begins with an awareness. So we know that, how many times have you seen in workplaces, we go for feedbacks. A manager gives a feedback to his subordinate and the team members. How many times have we seen organizations taking the feedback from the team members about the manager? And even if at all it is taken, it is not taken seriously, or nothing's much is done on that. And that is how people have started, even when I have seen when organizations plan for training, people believe that it is just a waste of their time and energy. And or some believe that, oh, it's a rest day for us, we'll have some good food and we just hang around and just laze around for the day. We we have to go in the reality. We have to dig deep. What is in the mind hearts of our people? What do they, how are they connected to the purpose of our organization? So once we start getting the awareness on an employee level, on a personal level, on a leadership level, and as an organization level, we get to know like what are the flaws, what needs to be changed. And based on that, we can take steps, baby steps, one day at a time, and one week at a time, and we can evaluate ourselves. We can do our own SWOT analysis. We can evaluate ourselves. The managers can evaluate us. But all this will happen, Fanaiki, only when you have something called as psychological safety at your workplace. Because we all are used to hierarchies. We all are used to just seeing the titles, positions, and authorities, and we don't feel comfortable. We might be punished, we might be cornered, we might be judged. So, unless and until you create a place where people feel okay to open up, to express themselves, to express their concerns, to raise their, to say their opinions, only then can you see changes happening. So it's like that is otherwise it's just like a band-aid, it doesn't change, or it's just like treating the symptoms, whereas the real thing lies within the roots are still within, and we feel that it is being treated. So it's being very transparent. It's having a great awareness, and then second of all, having a platform, creating a place where people feel that they will not be cornered, or they will not be judged, or they will not be punished for expressing what they feel. And that is where, creativity and productivity takes birth, where unseen problems are seen, where doors to new open, opportunities are opened only when people feel have that guts to express themselves. Now again, there is a thin line between, like, being the employee voice and gossips, and being rude to each other. That is where, again, as I mentioned earlier, a framework, there should be a proper framework for the values. What are the values of your organization? As you mentioned rightly, Fanaiki, believe me, people do not know what is the mission and what is, I'm not even talking about those statements. Statements, I'm sure if I ask 10 of them, 10 employees, 8 wouldn't know the statements. But at least, not, I'm not asking saying about the correct statements. I'm saying why we are here and where we are heading. If you ask them, they don't know, because they're never there is never an effort put in to make them realize that, yeah, we started from here, this is our objective, here is where we are heading to. And the most important point, the most important point here is, where do you fit in this process? Do you belong? And what is the impact of your work in this process? And that is very important, because that is a time when employees feel connected, and they see the purpose and they connect their own purpose with, because it's all about feeling happy, and that feeling that you're contributing from the top to the bottom, from the janitor to the CEO. Everybody's contribution really matters. And people feel proud, and people, because we are all human beings, right? Every one of us, just take out our titles and positions and all those things. We are all human beings at the core, and we love to be seen, we love to be appreciated. And we cannot actually say that, keep your emotions at the door and enter your work. It's not going to happen like that. Somewhere or the other, we like to be. I'll tell you a very, very funny example. I was doing my root canal, and it was my first day, and it was the second last tooth, and it wasn't comfortable for me at all. And it was when the dentist said to me, "Hey, Prasita, you are doing a great job." I really felt proud of myself. It was just a small statement, and then you feel like you always have a kid inside you, that inner child who loves to be, treated well and seen and heard. And that's all about all the employees working in an organization. So if you're able to create that ecosystem, where people thrive and people feel uh, joy to be associated with you, that is where your business and organization, takes up to the next level. Fanaiki.
Well, yes, very good. As you said, we are all human beings. We all want to be seen, to be heard, to be taken care of. And I totally agree with the fact that we have to see the real pain, the real problem, not only look at the numbers. Yeah, numbers tell something, but we should look at the human side as well, because maybe the numbers will increase depending on how well you treat your people. Because if you treat well your people, your business, they will take care of your business. It's the one saying I always hear most of the time. And so, yes, as you said, maybe not all of the employees will know the vision, mission statement. So it's very important to let them know by how do you put the workplace, what are you doing to make them sure that the vision is there, we have this mission, we have the same purpose. Each employee should be connected with the purpose of a business. They have to feel that yes, we are working here towards the same goal, towards the growth of the company. They have to feel that not only like, yes, I am working here just to receive a salary by the end of this month and that's it. The workplace will feel different after that. So thank you so much for your insight on that point. And I can see that you always say employee wellness, workplace wellness. But actually, for example, if the employee come at 8 o'clock, they will come home at 6 o'clock. Is there any time for them for wellness? Or how do we put that wellness in between during the day, or maybe every month, or maybe every week? What do you suggest?
See, I believe that there is a www to a workplace, and that is like what I have from my research and understanding boiled it down to the three W's. That is work, wealth, and wellness. You have to have a balance between the work, wealth, and wellness. So work in terms of the environment that you are into, the work and productivity that you're associated to, the creativity. Are you happy? Do you feel stressed at work? That matters. So wellness is connected to all these three. That's where I'm coming from. To wealth is in terms of the salary and also in terms of the exposure, the growth opportunities, the learning opportunities that you have provided. And definitely wellness is all about the physical wellness and the mental wellness, and the opportunities that you are given at your workplace to be a part of. Unfortunately, many a times what happens is, we believe that having a s- I want to express one thing over here, that post COVID, is the time when actually people have started being vocal about workplace culture and employee wellness and well-being and mental health, right? So um, some organizations have got it right and have arranged things and systems and processes where they really take care of the employees. They take them for an outing, or but many a times what happens is it is just a tick box activity. Okay, mental health, HR, we need to do something for the mental health. Okay, fine, call a yoga teacher, do bring some mats and do a yoga session, put it on the social media platform, and yeah, we are doing something great for the mental health. So there are two sides to it. There is something called as a knowing and doing gap. We know that we are responsible, or we need to do something for the mental health of the people. So it is starting from small recognitions, small appreciations from the colleagues, from each other, to having a a good time, a good chit chat time, a weekly lunch probably, or going out, a movie night, just having, these are the small things that can add up to the happiness index and the wellness of the employees. And then running challenges, you don't need to be associated with some other external source. You can run some weight loss challenges within your organization, but don't do it for the sake of doing. That is where many of the strategies fail, especially wellness strategies fail, because there is no genuinity in those initiatives. So make people understand that we are all in this together, and that is where it's very important that the messages for any change or any initiative comes from the senior management. And it is truly essential for the senior management to come in shots for a beach party, to be seated with them in the theater, to bring lunch cooked by him or her to the office party, to be a part of it. So these are small things, but these things matter a lot. So it's not only about initiatives on a weekly or monthly or quarterly basis. It's about how involved are you through the process, through these initiatives, and how do your people feel them? What is that you want? How do you feel that we what are your ideas? What do you want from us, so that we can have some good times, and we can have a bonding and connect and understand each other. So you can take you can think out of the box and but anything that you do it with genuinity. Fanaiki.
Well, thank you so much for the advice. And I'm sure every professional here now have some ideas how they should add something for the wellness of their employee. And yes, I agree with you when you say that it's not only something we do weekly or monthly, it's what are you doing towards them every day, your reaction to them, how you communicate with them, how you build connection with each employee. So, yes, that's really amazing. And so now I will just take this moment to thank all of our audience here. Thank you, Jan Otiono. Thank you, Vundarina. Thank you, Beatrice James. I'm happy to see you here. Thank you, Jude Noir. I hope I pronounced your name very well. Thank you so much, Haris Mohammed. Welcome. Thank you, Rajesh Balachandran. Hello, Chaitanya Bali. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much, Simi, for joining us, for joining me now. Thank you, Dr. Chris. Thank you, Gabir. And thank you, Rashid. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And now the floor is open to you all. If you have a question, if you have an insight, or you would like to share insight with Prashita or interact with her, just raise your hands and come up. We would like to hear from you. And so, yes, we have our first question from Beatrice James. Beatrice James, how are you? And share with us your.
Hi, Fanaiki. Thanks for bringing me up. And hi, Prasitha. Kabir, thank you. Prasitha, I'm probably one of your biggest fans because I really am passionate about the cultures in corporate America. But I do have a question, and it's around. You mentioned so many good things, but what are your thoughts, and maybe how have you implemented? Um, uh, Award systems or any disciplinary, I don't want to use that negative term, but what are your suggestions that top management organizations would would follow to continue a mindset of you mentioned the psychologic or the psychology freedom to open expression.
See, all they can do is by hitting it, straight, real. Uh, I would suggest people, because I know there's a lot of talk going around these topics and people know about it, leaders know about it, but somewhere there is still an inhibition or a resistance or a negligence in application of such things in an organization. So it's always better to take up a challenge for themselves, try to list on their own, try to look for a quarterly transformation challenge for themselves. So and it should include a couple of points, a couple of points like authentic leadership or psychological safety, and see the impact with their own eyes and hear it with their own ears. And once they know how to run this and the impact that it has on the people, that is where they understand that yes, for that you should have a readiness, you should have a mindset, and you should have a buy-in of your people. So have a clear communication. I would say over communicate in because people won't trust you initially. Say that this is a genuine, genuine. This is how I have worked with my clients, because first thing that I ask for my clients is the yes from the senior management, and after the yes is that involvement, because without the yes and without the involvement, the thing called as setting up the culture really won't work. Okay, it would work for the trainings and things, but it won't really work as impactful as it is. So the readiness, the mindset should be first coming from the senior management, and they should do it on a trial basis, minimum of 3 months, practicing the things around what workplace culture, when they can sometimes we don't know it all. It's always good to ask help from experts and have them on board and get the things done, or you can have an internal committee and get the things. And the first should be the readiness, and then should be a time frame, and then you see the impact of how the things are going. And again, do it genuinely with a genuine cause to see the change. So that's where the change will begin.
have Kabir. Kabir, what would you like to share with us today? Kabir, are you here?
Yes, Funaki. I just came to tell a hi to both of you, Fanaki and Prasida.
Thank you so much for coming up and thank you for supporting. It's always a pleasure. Well, do anyone have any other question to Prashita or just want to interact? Just raise your hands and you can come up. We would like to hear your insight as well. And well, if until we have someone who raised their hands, Prashita, can you tell me how do you describe the perfect workplace? Like how it will be like every day, what will happen? What's the perfect workplace?
Yeah. I don't think that there is something called as a perfect workplace because to be a perfect workplace is always a journey. I wouldn't call it as a destination for sure because it's a journey towards being a destination workplace or towards being a perfect workplace is what would make us perfect. So first, because sometimes in our imperfections we find our perfections, right? So in this journey, it is just about understanding each other, understanding the needs of our people, and bringing it all together. And Because we know that it's business. See, many a times what happens is there are certain myths, which is associated with having a nice workplace or having a perfect workplace where people take things for granted, people become lazy, people they have something to hide. It's nothing like that. Again, it's about what is communicated to your people, along with communication of your values, what is accepted, what is not accepted. You are also communicating the expectations and the productivity from the employees. I mean, there is no excuse to the work, there is no excuse to the output, there is no excuse to the productivity, or at least there is no excuse to do the roles and responsibilities for why the reason they're hired in the first place, right? So uh, having a good workplace or having a great workplace doesn't mean that there are no challenges, there are no conflicts. Yes, every day you would face new challenge, or you would face new conflicts and difference of opinion. The only thing that changes is handling, handling of the challenges, handling of these conflicts. Because once we know that the ultimate aim for us is our organization, its growth, and when everyone has it in their brains and blood that we are all working together towards the good of our organization, that is where handling of conflicts, because sorry especially for people in leadership positions, it's quite it's an uneasy scenario for them to be challenged, for their thoughts or for their decisions. So as you asked me, like, would psychological safety be a good platform for that? Yes. Why psychological safety would help us, or why emotional intelligence training would help us, why authentic leadership would help us? Because it teaches people that we are not pointing fingers on each other. It's not about you being smart or me being less smarter than you. It's about the objective. It's about what brings in the best solution, the best impact for our organization. That is what we have to take into consideration. And it's about understanding while remaining in our limits, while remaining in our positions and titles, respecting each other, knowing when to cross the boundaries, how not to cross the boundaries is what could make things easier, and a so-called imperfectly perfect workplace. Fanaiki.
What's very well, that's very, very impressive, Prashita. And yes, so as you said, excellence is not an advent, but something we build every day. It's not a destination, it's something we build every single day. And that's really true because we always think that, yes, it's a destination where we want to go, it's a goal somewhere there, but actually, it's something we have to do every day, we strive to do every day. So, thank you so much for this insight. And so, um, from your experience, how do you manage to build that wonderful workplace with your employee and with everyone around you? Like maybe you have some friends who need some help from you. Like how do they want to manage their work, their organization? And you personally, with your experience, how do you build that?
So the first step, as I mentioned, is all about the awareness of what awareness of our SWOTs. We have our strengths, we have our weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So strengths and opportunities are great. So what about your weaknesses and threats? You have to work on that first. So to dig those out, to see the real challenges, to see the real opportunities, again, you need to have a platform, where people don't hesitate to express the views and opinions and solutions. So in that case, it's always better when you're beginning. First is have a great buy-in from your people that yes, we are going to be a little different from how we were performing. We are on our transformation journey, and we need all your support and all your, all your support in being one. And we need all of you to be on this transformation journey. So that is where you can first communicate and have the buy-in, and then you need to dig in the realities. You need to have constant, surveys and pulse surveys and specific surveys and collect the feedback and know where you actually are. No, I mean, what is, and you build your change, you build your transformation journey from the information, from the metrics of the surveys and the feedbacks that you have collected. That will give you the real ground from where you need to begin the transformation. So once you know that, then you can build strategies and you can build up initiatives, and then you can have people, come on board. And I would suggest, because many a times what happens is having an unbiased view and having someone who is not on the side of the management and not on the side of the employees, somewhere in the middle who would help to bridge that gap. A facilitator will do great. And at the same time, you need to have your internal champions as well. You need to build a team that is connected to develop the workplace culture or to take up this challenge. So you need to have your own internal army, which is sufficient and efficient enough to see what has to be done in the transformation journey ahead. So it all begins with awareness to find out what's the real challenges and obstacles, and then build your journey from there.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty good. And so it's all about awareness and after building up from that. So awareness is the basics. Yes, we have to understand that because if we are not aware of something, we will not know if it's a problem, how to solve it if we don't even know the problem. Yes, so awareness as well in what's happening in the company, in the organization. Thank you for this clarity. And we have another person in the panel, Rashid. Rashid, what would you like to share with us today?
Hi, hi. Good evening, leaders. Thank you so much, Fanaiki, for initiating this program, and thank you, Prasida, for your insights and a lot of inputs shared on employee wellness, or rather workplace wellness. So beyond this, academic thoughts, I just want to, and I want to have a couple of thoughts from a functional perspective beyond the academic thoughts. especially uh, the COVID has changed the workplace modalities. Especially uh, with the work from home method, because we have seen the new normal, and the COVID has changed the world, the workplace, the organizational structures, and still many of the changes still continue, even if the world has gone back to its old normal, the new normal, or all the new models are still existing in the market due to many reasons, and that's the reality. So, from a work from home perspective, Prasida, could you please give your insights about how companies or leaders or management can ensure employee wellness in the workplace, especially the works are done. A major chunk of the works are being executed on the virtual platforms, and a lot of online online works are being done. And how can organizations and leaders ensure the employee wellness, or wellness in the workplace from that perspective post COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, because what the things which I was sharing is definitely from, the perspectives of practicality that I am practicing in the workplaces that I help build this transformation journey. And you mentioned it right that of course we have challenges with the hybrid kind of environment now, and or full time work from home things. See, end of the day, it is responsibility of the leaders or the team leaders or the supervisors. If you take an organization, definitely you have hierarchies and you have roles and responsibilities, but if you break it down, and if a supervisor spends certain time of a day or a week to have a one-to-one of how everyone is feeling with his team. See, nowadays, if we are talking about digital transformation, you have so many platforms wherein you can be as a team together, you can play games, you can chat with each other, you can be connected to each other. It is in the hands of your leaders and supervisors how they are trained to be with people, though not physically. It is and I was reading the very article of to create a FOMO, that they are not being left out of, though they cannot be physically there, they are all mentally connected, and this team still exists, and you can take efforts to meet physically and spend some time and be with them. It's all about what efforts are the leaders taking, how are they trained, and how are these leaders monitored about them being present for their team members, though not physically. So it is definitely the responsibility and the trainings that goes for the team members, for the leaders to connect to their team on maybe daily basis, or it may not practically happen on a daily basis, but at least weekly basis, where they have a virtual coffee, where they connect, where they talk, where they express their concerns and what's good and what's not, what's bad, and what are the challenges that they're facing. Again, digging into the reality. Ask them, like, okay, now you're working from home, yeah, we do trust you, but what do you think that you need more from our side? ABC, okay, these are your hurdles, how can we manage them? And just trust them, and just connect with them, and I think that would solve it. Rashid.
Hi, Priscilla. Thank you so much for your insights on this subject, and clarifying my concerns as well. And
Yeah,
back to Fanaiki.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashid, for your insightful question that is just enriching the conversation as well, making us think in another perspective. And yes, it's actually something that we are always listening right now. Like the COVID changed everything. Everyone wants to work from their home, and how it is going then? Is everything changing? How is it the workplace as everyone is only working from home? The workplace becomes their home, or they should come to the office only then we can say it's a workplace? A lot of question is happening. So thank you so much for bringing your question up. And thank you, Prashita, for clarifying as you said. And so, from our audience, do you still have any other question? Or, yes, and so, well, we are waiting for some question. Um, I have a question, Prashita. So, you said that the leader should be aware, but is there something that the employee can do to make this workplace a wonderful place as well? So, what's the part from the employee?
Absolutely, no doubt. I mean, see, workplace culture or developing, creating a positive work environment again is not just the responsibility of leaders, but they are the change makers. They are the trailblazers to bring in this perspective into reality. That is why I mentioned more in this talk about the responsibility of the leaders, because when it comes from them, that is where people start taking things seriously. So definitely every employee, things become easy when you have a framework for the employees, for every employee who is connected to the organization, to know their limits, to not involve in gossips, to not have loose talks, to be engaged in their work, to be more productive, to be more creative, to come up with creative ideas, and what good they can do for the organization. See, all these things, would sound very rosy and not achievable. But once you try to, implement these, because I won't say that. You have 50 employees in an organization, and tomorrow I say that, we're going on a transformation journey, guys, and yes, come on, buckle up, and we are all transfer. It never happens that way. We all are different. Again, we come with the different skill sets, with different culture, with different upbringing, with experience and expertise, which is different from each other. So we are different, right? And we are similar at one point, because we are all humans, and we all have the same needs, right? To bring bread to the table, to be seen, to be understood. So once we are able to connect these dots, right, and express it to the people, and once they're able to understand, and they try, for that you have so many initiatives that you can run. You can have culture champions in your organization. You can have internal leaders, who take charge, and you can nominate people. That is how you can encourage more and more people to do the good work, and you have to see the good work. You have many of the things times what happens is organization just see the numbers. He may not be an efficient salesman, but at the same time he would be the person who uplifts the morale and the creativity, and the spirit of others in the efforts also matter. But it's not that we cannot say that everybody efforts matter and clap for them, and that sales not going to work that way, definitely. But then at least, for people to know that they matter, their work matters, you should run initiatives always. And it's an investment, not a huge investment in terms of financial investment. It's an investment in terms of your mindset, because many a times people feel that once you are an organization, and once these are all like things which are goody things and nice to have things and good to say things, but when it comes to practicality, this is not possible. Imagine each and every one, each and every of our country would be a developed country, least I'm saying, if every level of the power and hierarchy had functioned well, right? So it is, why isn't a country functioning, not functioning well? Because every level, like from the grassroots to the top, they are not aligned, and everybody is on their own, on fulfilling their own mission and purposes. So don't let the same happen. You may be a multinational company, you may be a SME, you may be a startup, but once you have a rock solid mindset, you can bring in changes, and that is not bookish, and that is not something that is impossible, and that is something not a nice to have or a tick box activity as well. If you really need change, you have to have that mindset, and you need to implement that, and then only you can see results, and then only you can say that this works or not works. Implement a change. This is January. You start it, give it a try. 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. You are not going to lose, but you are definitely going to gain at the end of the year, and then you see how it works. Unless and until we try it, we never know it, right? So this is what I have to say about this, Funaki.
Wow, that's really impressive. That's really great. And so it's all about balance. And just you said that, yeah, we can develop a country just by changing each and every company of each and every workplace because they all, it's like a big vision. It's just a big vision. And so, yes, we all are contributing to that. And so, thank you so much. And now, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It was the journey towards a wonderful workplace, how to transform your workplace. And I was so happy to spend it to speak with the incredible Prashita Nair, the founder of Destination Workplace. So if you have any inquiry about workplace, how to build that routine, that wonderful routine, the ideal routine for your organization, just contact her. She will be more than happy to help you and to guide you toward that. And so, Prashita, your parting notes before we are going to close in the room.
First of all, Fanaiki, thank you so much for having me today, and it was a great 1 hour that I spent with you and the listeners, and with all the questions, and it was nice. See, to create a destination workplace is not impossible. The only thing that you need is a right mindset, and you need to take that first step, and you need to have your people believe that we are on a transformation journey, and do it genuinely, not for the sake of social media, not for the sake of putting up pictures on LinkedIn. No, do it genuinely and see that you will definitely see that when your people are aligned to the purpose, and they find meaning in what they do rather than just tag in tag out, you can find changes happening. Definitely you can. I don't say that from tomorrow everyone will change, all the attitudes would change, all the people would change, everyone would be a nice individual from tomorrow. No, that's not going to happen. But still, we can bring them all together in a disciplined box, in a framework where they know how to work, how to function, what are the values, and that is understanding your values is where you build your the basic, the platform for culture. And once you're able to once everybody is able to imbibe those values, that is where you start building culture, and that is where the magic really happens, and that is where the human side of business develops, and from there the profit side of business develops. Because there's one question that is often asked: is it human side or the profit side? Like, is it people or profit? It is definitely profit. I wouldn't say that you're in a business just for people. No, we are in a business for profit, but profit through people. So you have to value people and understand the human side of every business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prashita, for being my speaker, my guest today. I am so honored to have you. And actually, you just remind me of someone who said, if you don't like something, just change it. And this is what you did. You didn't, you see the corporate world and you see that it's liking something, and you didn't hesitate to come up, to get out of that box and trying to change it, just trying to make it better. And I am so happy to meet you. And I am wishing you all the success in your endeavor. It's a very noble endeavor. And so wishing you all the best. And I hope you will inspire more and more people in a way that our world will get transformed just by being transforming our workplace. And so thank you so much. And also thank you so much to our amazing audience. Thank you so much for your question, for your presence, because it's really added an extra spark to today's conversation. And as we say goodbye to this, let's just remember that workplace depends not only on the leadership, but from us as well. Start with each one of us. So let's start to be aware. Let's start communicating. Let's build connection to feel the comfort in our workplace, because workplace is all about work, wealth, and wellness balanced all together. So let's build that, let's cultivate that, and make our workplace live life very extraordinary. So it was Habitually Yours with Fanaiki Handria and Prashita Nair. We will close the room in the count of three and see you next week, same time, 8 p.m. Dubai time and 9:30 India time. If you're interested, you can send me your WhatsApp number. We have a group where we will get all the updates and where we share some more insight about the event. And so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Prashita. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. Habitually yours, Fanaiki Handria. Signing off, 3, 2, 1. Bye, everyone.